April 25th, 2015, Saturday. Saturday is a holiday in Nepal. People generally take rest after a week's hard work. Nestled in the lap of the mighty Himalayas, including the highest peak, Everest, Nepal is known for its pristine beauty and rich cultural heritage. People were going about their household chores as though it were any other Saturday. But at 11:56 a.m. Nepal Standard Time, the earth began to violently shake. The earthquake measuring 7.6 on the Richter scale, with the epicenter in Barpak of Gorkha, in the mountainous district north of the capital, Kathmandu, not only devastated the hilly settlement, but shook the whole of the central region. 8,790 people lost their lives. More than 22,000 people were injured. More than 800,000 houses crumbled, and thousands of schools, public buildings, health institutions, and other infrastructure was destroyed, including roads, bridges, and drinking water systems. The earthquake hit Nepal's coveted religious sites hard, as hundreds of heritage buildings, including many World Heritage Sites, came crumbling down. The people rushed to provide relief to the victims, and hundreds were rescued. Communities showed their resilience. But raising temporary shelters for millions of people in itself was a huge challenge. But even bigger challenge was to bring these millions of people back to life. The National Planning Commission came up with the Post-Disaster Needs Assessment, which estimated the total loss from the earthquake to be a whopping $6.69 billion. The government held a donors meeting in Kathmandu to garner international support. The donors pledged $4 billion for the reconstruction process. 8 months after the earthquake, the government finally established the National Reconstruction Authority, NRA, on December 25, 2015.
The main objective of the establishment of the NRA is to coordinate all the reconstruction tasks either through the government sector or through the private sector or through the different civil society organizations, whoever will be involved in the reconstruction, and also especially to come up in a sort of the plan and the framework in a way that this reconstruction will be completed within the time period of around 5 years.
Immediately after its establishment, the NRA sent out 3,000 engineers to conduct a detailed damage assessment survey, one of the largest such surveys in the world, and prepared a post-disaster recovery framework, PDRF.
After PDNA, damages were assessed and it was agreed that housing reconstruction was priority need. Based on that, a housing damage assessment survey was carried out. Each and every house was visited and damages were categorized to ascertain what is the number of houses that were destroyed and what is the number of houses that are retrofittable.
Upon further study and research, the government put the total cost of reconstruction and rehabilitation at $9.38 billion. The government decided to provide 300,000 rupees, about $3,000 per family, through the banking process. The NRA then kick-started the reconstruction process by sending out thousands of engineers and sub-engineers to the villages. It trained thousands of masons to make the affected people build quake-resilient houses.
The UN, because we have such a diversity of expertise, we have been supporting the reconstruction process from various angles, both supporting the institution, the NRA, at in different sectors of reconstruction, but as well as working with the communities, which is very important because while we help an institution to do its work, we also have to make sure that the communities are being empowered.
The NRA has managed to rebuild hundreds of thousands of private houses, public buildings, educational and health institutions, and many cultural heritage sites.
अब सरकारले दिँदै नदिएको भए नि आफू बस्ने घर त हामीले बनाउनै पर्थ्यो त्यो पनि अब सरकारले त्यति हामीलाई सहयोग दिएपछि त त्यो माथि नै हामीले केही थपेर भए नि हामीले अलिक पक्का अलिक राम्रो बनाउनु पर्छ भन्ने सोचाइ चाहिँ मलाई त्यस्तो लाग्छ
It is no doubt a difficult process, but with the active participation of the resilient Nepali community and with support from the international community, Nepal is rising from the rubble. However, the job is not done yet. More than 200,000 beneficiaries who had earlier been left out have now been added in the resurvey conducted by the NRA. About 18,000 vulnerable families are still living at risk. Also, thousands of families living in earthquake-prone areas need to be relocated and resettled. Therefore, the Nepal government is looking for ways to bridge the budget deficit. As per the latest estimates, Nepal will need a further $6 billion to complete the overall rebuilding process. The NRA is now working to review and update the post-disaster recovery framework
with the different partners and also with the government, and we'll sit together and come up with a conclusion how this fund can be managed, either through the out of the government treasury or through the government treasury or through the different partners who are supporting. So we'll be taking this to all of them, and then we'll discuss on that and then come to a conclusion how we can really manage the fund for this.
The rebuilding process is in full swing at present, and a lot has been achieved, but there still is a long way to go to ensure that Nepal builds back safer. For this, Nepal government continues to seek support from both within and outside the country and remains committed to ensuring resilient communities for the generations to come.